Once you deploy the vehicle, your revenues start. Blue energy, a different world that we are entering into. Reducing the carbon dioxide as a content.
What about the transporters? How are they accepting LNG and how is the growth rate there?
They've also started realizing that a shift towards LNG or EV, perhaps a mix of the portfolio of the fleet, is important for them also.
Good morning, friends, and welcome to Trans India, real people, real emotions. While the road transport industry has been witness to many changes and has adapted to these changes very well, there is one change knocking at the doors that has made decision-making very difficult for the fleet owners. Since the last few years, the government has been taking the issue of environment cleaning up very seriously, and while there may be other constituents for pollution, the maximum energy seems to be consumed in cleaning up the vehicles. So, the truck industry moved from BS3 to BS4, then leapfrog to BS6, skipping BS5, and before we could even realize, there was BS6 OBD2. As we speak, there's already a buzz that BS7 may be on the cards in the near future. However, there is also a focus on trucks driven by alternate fuels, CNG, LNG, and electric. We have seen electric vehicles make good inroads in the small truck segment, primarily used for last mile delivery. At the same time, CNG trucks have seen decent volumes in the heavy duty segment, but restricted to states that have a good infrastructure of CNG refueling stations. However, industry experts believe that for long haul and the heavy segment, LNG would be best suited primarily because of its range and, of course, lower cost of fuel. Blue Energy Motors introduced LNG trucks a few years back, but there were few takers since the technology was still relatively new and unheard of. Anyways, the transporters in India are slow adopters of anything new, and a new technology truck driven by an alternate fuel completely out of their radar. However, Blue Energy Motors had a better plan to seed these trucks into the system. They launched GreenLine Logistics, thus entering the system as a user of LNG trucks. They approached clients and pitched the technology. Given the cost benefits, customers were happy to swing to LNG trucks because they also got the advantage of getting carbon credits. Gradually, GreenLine Logistics made a mark for itself and also proved that running LNG trucks was not just viable but also profitable. In fact, Blue Energy Motors recently crossed 100 million kilometers milestone with its EV and LNG truck fleet. Last year, Blue Energy Motors also launched electric trucks with swappable batteries as an option, another venture that defied the current trends in the industry. With so many developments happening at Blue Energy Motors as well as GreenLine Logistics, we caught up with Anand Mimani to know more about these developments as well as future plans and prospects of these alternate fuels. Anand brings over 27 years of experience as both an entrepreneur and a business leader. He has built and scaled businesses, raised capital, and developed long-term partnerships across industries. He began his journey as an entrepreneur, setting up EMW Auto Component Limited and leading it as MD and CEO for 14 years before moving into the role of president. For the next 3 years, he served as CEO of GreenLine Logistics, where he helped build India's first green logistics platform, introducing LNG-powered trucks, creating clean fuel infrastructure, and working with companies to make their supply chains more sustainable. Today, as CEO of EV and New Energy Business at Blue Energy Motors, Anand is leading the company's foray into electric heavy-duty trucks and shaping the roadmap for zero-emission transportation in India. His focus is on decarbonizing long-haul and short-haul heavy-duty trucking and accelerating the shift towards cleaner, next-generation mobility solutions. So here's our interaction with Anand, shot at the company's facility at Chakan in Pune. Alongside, you will also see visuals of a battery swapping taking place. Here's Anand Mimani.
So Anand, tell me, you are into green mobility space, but yet your company is called Blue Energy Motors. What is this Blue Energy?
So, as you know, that today's date, everything is not completely green. So when we started off itself, like LNG, there is carbon dioxide which does get emitted over there also, and with a small percent. I mean, compared to diesel, it is low, but you are not completely green.
Right.
And we started off with LNG being our first product line. So I think Mr. Volga gave the name of the company as Blue Energy, a different energy, a different world that we are entering into. And yeah, that's how it got started, and it got named in
Okay.
that manner.
But tell me, Anand, of all things, I mean, the commercial vehicle industry has always traditionally been on diesel, and LNG was something unheard of.
Right.
How does this thought come up that we need to get into this space?
So this was during the COVID when Mr. Anshuman Ruia had a thought, and Mr. Buhalka and Mr. Ruia are brothers. So he had a thought that what is the most taxed commodity? And he said diesel is something which is heavily taxed. Diesel is something which is giving a huge pollution. Pollution is a perennial problem which has to get solved, and everybody has been working towards it. And Mr. Bualka always knew how to make the trucks, because 20-25 years he's just spent in building trucks. And that's how they had a conversation that, can we do a gas-based truck? And he said, yes, so why not? It can be done. And, SR has always been into this oil and gas and everything. And Mr. Anshuman Ruia knows everything about that, as he's built the refineries, and we have an EOGPL gas exploration in East, in West Bengal over there. So he said this is a place which could be of a significant value that can be moved. And India moving into the next zone of green vehicles being deployed would be a great thought. With that, this thought came, and then Mr. Bualka worked it out and got the first LNG vehicle made of the country. And in 2022, we had launched and deployed the same.
So concept to the product was about 2 years?
Yeah, about approximately 2.5 years, right from the concept to the launch and of the product.
Anirudh has had his experience with transporters for a long time, and one thing he would surely know is getting them to change is the toughest part of any business. How was he convinced that he's going to go to the transporters and pitch a absolutely new fuel altogether?
Well, as much as you know, Anirudh, he's always known to bring a change in the industry. If you remember, the first air-conditioned trucks way back in 2005 was launched by him.
Correct.
When we used to see trucks just coming without any cabin or anything. At that time, he made it mandatory that he would sell vehicles, only air-conditioned vehicles in the country. And thereafter, we saw that it became a mandate to sell vehicles with the cabin, manufactured cabin, and from a safety norm point of view. And then air conditions are now today becoming mandatory, as Gadkari Saab has been promoting. So how to make a mindset shift, I believe that he understands that very, very well. And although it's a slow process, needs a lot of convincing, but the art of doing it, first you have to believe it in yourself, whether this will sell or not. And once that is clear, and that it will sell, thereafter it's a matter of executing it in the right manner. And that's how Blue Energy Motors has been executing that dream of putting an alternate fuel vehicle in the market, because we believe always that this is the need. And if everywhere in the world this shift can happen, why not India?
But Anand, the primary goal or the primary push towards LNG, was it the clean fuel, or was it the economic works better? Which is ahead of the game?
I would say both from the point of view that India is a cost-sensitive country.
Yes.
And being a cost-sensitive country, thank you so much. Being a cost-sensitive country, you just can't have a goal that you need an alternate fuel, a cleaner fuel alone.
Right.
You have to ensure that if it has to get executed rightly, the cost part has to be kept in mind.
course.
So, while clean, we ensured that the TCO is well married, the TCO works very well. Only then it can be a widespread acceptance in this market.
How did you get into Blue Energy Motors?
Well, first I was given the mandate of creating the transportation companies because alternate fuel is a very different area.
Right.
So Blue Energy Motors created the product, and Mr. Ruya had this vision that why should we not deploy it and show the country that this can be run all across. And in that manner, adoption could be much more acceptable by the market. So Blue Energy created the product. Thereafter, gas was also a requirement. Not many gas pumps were there.
True.
So another brand called Ultra Gas got created, and that company is now today having about more than 10 pumps across India and growing.
Right.
And that's how a GreenLine was created that let us deploy these vehicles. Let's show the country that India can also move into alternate fuels, and this is the new future of transportation as an industry. So that's how I started. And then once that got established, Mr. Buhalka said, we need to create many more such green lines.
Green lines.
This
yes.
opportunity is huge. This can be expanded, and we can speak to all logistics companies now in the country, and we can show that the proof is done. There's merit in deploying LNG vehicles. This is the future. And let's go around and sharing the story that everyone should look into capturing this opportunity. So
wait, Anand, LNG, of course, takes care of the pollution part. That's very, very clear. How do you calculate the arithmetic part of it? How does the economics work?
Two bits. LNG having a better calorific value, it helps in better mileage in comparison to diesel.
Okay.
And the cost of diesel versus LNG, there is a difference.
Right.
But the capital cost is a little higher.
How much higher is that?
Today, if you see a diesel 55-ton vehicle is approximately 30 lakhs. And an LNG vehicle on road is approximately 60 lakhs.
2x.
So it's 2x.
Right.
But the overall TCO with the fuel mileage benefit and the price of diesel versus LNG being a difference in the market, the TCO works better.
Right.
And more beautifully. So overall, a shift is not a problem.
Okay. And how much time ideally would it take to break even in terms of an LNG truck?
Well, transportation as an industry, once you deploy the vehicle, your revenues start in 2 to 3 months. And the focus is that in 90 days, your revenue should be enough in order to start paying the EMIs.
Okay.
That's about it. I mean, there's no big difference. You're just moving the diesel vehicle and just replacing it with the LNG vehicle. And in 90 days, if you are efficiently running the vehicle in the kilometer point of view on a monthly basis, it will fetch you clearing your EMIs and making your money at home.
You spoke about efficiency, and one of the biggest bottlenecks for the industry has been efficiency. An average transporter does about 7,000 to 8,000 kilometers a month if you leave aside the e-commerce segment.
Yes.
Is a capex of 60 lakhs, can it be covered with this kind of running?
Absolutely. There's no problem.
So there's no challenge with that. Right. So Anand, when you went out to the field, saying, okay, here is an LNG truck, let's deploy it. What was the first challenge or first reaction from the customers as well as the transporters?
As a corporate or as a transporter?
Both. I'm talking about both, since you've gone to both.
So corporates welcomed it because we always went with the mantra that we are going to deploy alternate fuel vehicles at no extra cost of diesel.
Okay.
So as long as it was not touching their P&L balance sheet, they did not have a problem.
Right.
Secondly, what we did is we ensured that they get the green credits.
Right.
Although scope 3 emissions or carbon dioxide is not tradable today, but it always carries a significant value that as a corporate, you look after the complete society.
Right.
You are a responsible citizen and you are working towards reducing the carbon dioxide as a content. So that thought was very, very clear with all the corporates, and they have always been working on scope 1 and scope 2. So scope 3 also coming their way without spending an extra dollar first was very well welcomed by them.
Okay.
And thereafter, once we deployed it and they saw that it is working, they also excited the other transporters to learn from us. We welcomed them also. We showed them the arithmetic, the TCO, and we said 4 million vehicles, 40 lakh trucks today are running on the ground. And the movement is going to be about 8 million vehicles in the next 10 years. So it's a huge room. If you see other countries like China, they're already at 50%.
Yes.
Diesel is 50% today, the new production vehicles and deployment, and alternate fuel is 50 and
Right. Growing.
in fact growing,
Yes.
taking a much more land share over there. India is also going to be the same. We are not producing oil. Recently, BMO himself said that you all have to be more mindful. Electric, LNG, alternate fuel should be the need of the hour, which as responsible citizens, whether it's a corporate or any LSP, we all need to understand and take the next step forward in venturing it out.
Absolutely.
So
1,000 LNG trucks on the road with GreenLine currently, am I right?
almost, yes.
Almost 1,000. One of the challenges that most transporters face is drivers. How did you get the drivers for this? I mean, this is not a question that would really excite you, but I'm just curious to know, how did the drivers come up and how did the drivers accept the LNG part of it?
So, well, this is a question which now officially GreenLine should answer, not me. But
But you set up 1,000 trucks, so you would know how you got the drivers.
yes, of course. See, ultimately, what do drivers want? Human beings who would like to take home their earning in a nice manner. If when you are running a diesel vehicle, they always have a salary
Plus,
and they have a diesel component, which they have to go to Mr. X, Mr. Y, Mr. Z, sell,
you know how
earn,
the whole system
how
works,
the whole
yes.
system works. When we moved to LNG, our first mantra to them was, "आप इज्जत की रोटी कमा रहे हो." We had a basic pay.
Right.
Thereafter, we had an incentive program. You run the kilometers, you take home.
Absolutely.
You just ensure two things are maintained: our fuel mileage efficiency, and you run the kilometers.
Right.
If you're running 8,000 kilometers or 7,000 kilometers, your incentive take home on an overall base, what you earn, we matched it.
Right.
Thereafter, the shift to a diesel to an LNG vehicle driving point of view, as you have seen the vehicle today,
Yes.
you can see that the comfort zone
Oh, yes.
is very well.
Cabin was very impressive, I would say.
And driving comfort, when you have provided to the driver, more safer environment. Take home is similar or more. He doesn't have to run around selling diesel. He's getting his earning directly into his wallet
Right.
on a daily basis. So, initial mindset shift was definitely a concern. But at the same time, as they started experiencing, the word of mouth automatically went out that there's no problem in running these vehicles and we are earning what
You
we want to earn.
correct.
we are getting that much.
Right.
So definitely that shift happened.
Mhm.
We have always ensured a proper training in blue energy motors
That was
being
impressive. I
provided.
mean, when I was taken out, I was told each driver is trained here.
Absolutely. No driver sits onto the vehicle without a proper training.
Right.
And that's what we request our customers, the entire transport industry, to ensure that they send the drivers here. And they have also been very, very supportive into it, that they are sending the drivers. Every driver is properly trained. They understand what LNG as a fuel is. They understand our command center. They understand how this vehicle needs to be driven, as well as what are the nuances of LNG in comparison to diesel, or is there any nuances? So the mind gets cleaned. They drive the vehicle for 4 days, 5 days with our master drivers.
Mhm.
They get into a comfort zone that how they can bring in the mileage and everything.
Right.
Thereafter, they are smart people, so there's no problem.
But is there a special, or I mean, is there a special care or a special process that needs to be taken while fueling up? Do the drivers need to put in some effort there
Nothing.
or some attention? I mean, what's happening?
I mean,
nothing.
basic semantics that you have to ensure it's properly put in, fueled, done,
That's it.
temperature is maintained. That's all.
Right. And given that the trucks, the technology is there, you have a good range also. Is this infrastructure, the fueling stations, are they adequate now to cater to a pan-India operation?
Absolutely. Today, if you see the blue energy motor vehicles, as far as LNG is concerned, east to west, north to south, it's running everywhere.
Okay.
Whether you say moving from all the way Tata Steel, Kalinganagar to Ahmedabad or Taloja as a region, the vehicles are moving. All the way they are going from the east to north, north to west, west to south, south to east. So the range anxiety issue is not there with these vehicles because we have a double tank vehicle which
Right.
goes anywhere between 2000 to 2400 kilometers on one fill, and we have a single tank vehicle which is about 1000 to 1200 kilometers on a single fill. And terrain to terrain, it does differences
Right.
there. So the anxiety of having too many LNG pumps, just like diesel pumps, is not there.
You don't require that.
You don't require that.
Absolutely.
So that's no problem. I think today's date, it's already running from east to west, and more pumps opening up in the country. The anxiety issue is more and more killed also.
Right. You've catered to the customers, the corporates. What about the transporters? How are they accepting LNG, and how is the growth rate there?
Well, the acceptance has started coming in. They have seen the vehicles running. They've experienced it better. We have given vehicles from Blue Energy Motors for them to try and experience it. They've tried it, and now slowly they are shifting to diesel, from diesel to LNG and to EV vehicles as well. So the shift is happening, the mindset change is happening, and it's a slow process. But the acceptability of trying it out, moving in that direction, we can see the shift.
Okay.
And with the concerns which has been there in the last few months, unfortunate, but yeah, because of whatever reasons,
Yeah.
the concerns which has happened for diesel going up and availability and everything, everybody started realizing that alternate fuels is required. Especially after our PM also
Yes.
reaching out to the entire mass, advising them, requesting them to think on those lines that EV should be thought, should be worked on. So the government is also pushing, and the transporters are also smart people. They also understand that yes, with the diesel problem, a lot of vehicles were down for a very long time, are down today also for a very long time. And because of the availability, because of the pricing,
Right.
because of everything. So they've also started realizing that a shift towards LNG or EV, perhaps a mix of the portfolio of the fleet is important for them also.
Absolutely. Anand, LNG doing good. How did EV come about? Was that a conscious decision, or you said, okay, let's try out EV as well? Because smaller trucks, EV has been sorted. I mean, that's accepted. But larger trucks, it's always been a challenging.
So I would say EV has always been there in mind. In fact, Mr. Bhualka started working on EV from 2017
Oh,
on heavy duty vehicles. I don't know whether it's here or not. The first vehicle, 2017, which he had brought in for doing the complete R&D study and everything, perhaps must be still around somewhere. But yes, the country was not ready completely for EV because of the battery price, and everything at that time was very, very high. But EV was there in his mind as an alternate fuel from a very, very long time.
okay.
And that is something he said you'll have to put into your basket, and you'll have to deploy it at the right time when the country is ready.
Okay.
You just can't
Give it a
you just
open
can't keep launching the products.
True.
So step 1, LNG was launched. Step 2, EV has been launched, because the fundamental belief has always been there that anything to do with short haul, EV is the future. Anything to do with long haul, LNG is the future. So that is something which was always there in the management's mind.
Okay.
And stepwise, we have been launching the vehicles.
But EV still range is a concern. You know, we're doing about 170, 180 kilometers to a charge. Is that sufficient? I mean, frequent stops after 180 kilometers. How does the economics work here?
Well, today, I'm sure you would be happy to see the new fuel stations of our country. We believe that every 100, 125 kilometers, if this is deployed, this becomes a new fuel station. Today, a diesel vehicle takes at least 10 minutes to 12 minutes to be filled. So that is a minimum wait. An LNG vehicle also takes 10 to 12 minutes to fill. But an EV vehicle battery swapping after every 100 kilometers being there, and in less than 5 minutes, if the battery is swapped and it keeps moving forward, your range anxiety is cleared. So up to 500 kilometers of movement, if you are having 2-3 swap stations, there is no range anxiety.
But your swap station also has a capacity of 4 batteries, 3 plus 1. And if there are more number of trucks, how do you expand this infrastructure?
Well, if you go to any petrol pump or diesel pump or CNG pump, you find multiple dispensers.
Yes.
It's the same concept. You'll have multiple swap stations everywhere. For example, today Mumbai-Pune corridor that we are developing, we've taken a 1.5 acre plot. When you feel that this swap station is going, you just have another battery put behind it. So you can put 4 or 5 swap stations.
Right.
Vehicles keeps coming and going. You just keep the multiplication, or else there are like this is a 3 battery swap station. We can plan to put up a 5 or a 7 or a 9 battery swap stations also. So it depends how the fleet sizes grow up.
Right.
Appropriately, either you can have a multiple of the same, or you can have the higher battery swap stations also deployed.
Do you have a plan in mind how you plan to ramp up this infra?
Absolutely. So as I shared with you, we are already developing Mumbai-Pune as a corridor. That is already Chakan is commissioned. Talegaon is commissioned.
Right.
Khalapur and Bhiwandi work is in progress.
Okay.
JNPT, Mumbai Port, thereafter going anywhere between Tarapur to Ranjangaon.
Okay.
You'll have full connectivity.
Right.
I think, and perhaps you may know better, as I think at least 10,000 vehicles must be moving between the JNPT port, Mumbai port, all the way going to Tarapur to Ranjangaon, just in this belt.
Just in this belt. Absolutely.
And we plan to have 4 to 5 swap stations. With some
I think, yes.
gun chargers at strategic locations, just in case if there is a need. I think as a corridor, once this model is cleared, similarly, we would develop it all across the Golden Quadrilateral, north, south, east, west corridor.
Okay.
As a way forward, picking up lanes, depending on customers' advice also. We'll pick up lanes and we'll start connecting.
So Mumbai-Pune, I think, is more or less in place. Which is the next lane you're looking at?
So once this lane is completed, we want to expand perhaps this lane
Just
all the way,
take it forward. Yes.
yeah, to Ahmedabad, Delhi, connecting Kandla, Mundra, all the ports this side, taking all the way this to Bangalore. So as I said, on the Golden Quadrilateral and north, south, east, west, we may take it towards Nagpur, on the
Okay.
Samruddhi, Bhiwandi se fir Samruddhi tak jayegi. So
Right.
this is how we'll
This belt is
expand.
technical,
We've
right.
started with this and we'll
Right.
keep expanding.
Beautiful.
Yeah, lane wise,
Right.
depending on customers also demanding. There may be
Correct.
particular lanes, maybe towards the east or something. For example, if a
specific,
customer, a corporate says that, okay, let's start this, I want to anchor it. We may also start with that, but we'll ultimately connect it with the complete grid.
Right. Anand, truck done, economics done, driver training done. Another concern of the transporter is after sales service. What if something goes wrong with my truck? Where is the network? Where is the infrastructure for that? So what have you set up for this?
So, Blue Energy Motors is already having service stations.
You don't have dealers, right? You're selling on your own.
We are selling directly to customers today. We are putting up our own service station points across India today.
Okay.
And yeah, that's the way forward that we believe today we are going ahead with. Maybe tomorrow, as and how we keep expanding and depending on the response, we may get into
The dealership model,
service center models being outsourced also. We're not rigid that we will not have that. But principally, we are already developing state-wise our own service stations.
Okay.
We are having workshop on wheels.
Okay.
We have a full-fledged team in every state. Yeah, if
How many
there's-
service stations do you have currently?
currently we are already having approximately 10 and we plan to put up about 32 of such service stations.
Okay. Last question, Anand, having come with the numbers where we are, what is the future plan? I mean, what are the numbers you're looking for? What is the customer base and segment base that you're looking to expand?
So we've already deployed alternate fueled vehicles in every segment practically. And I suppose now the transporters community have already started testing and they've started feeling that yes, this is a good place that they should be also.
Any negative response from any of the transporters regarding anything?
You will always have a mix.
Okay.
Some people may change slowly. Some people would like to change fast. Definitely capital cost is higher.
I think that is the biggest
mindset,
hum-
yeah.
yes.
Financing is also a subject.
Right.
The institutions need to be also more comfortable financing these vehicles more. There's an after sale of this vehicle which people are expecting because they are too used to diesel vehicle having a defined price and everything.
Right.
So LNG market, EV market is maturing. Typically, they need to cross a life cycle. Once a life cycle is crossed, only then you'll be able to experience at what price it has got sold. So that journey, everybody has to be mindfully ready and you'll have to walk that journey and then only the bigger expansion starts happening.
Right.
So transporters are also, they understand, as I said, all very smart people and they understand their journey. Some are slow, some are fast.
Right.
And we believe everybody would walk the journey in the right manner. I don't see anything big as a negative.
Okay.
It may be slow, but it will be steady. And it's a market to change.
But I think the factors have actually worked in your favor with diesel prices going up, the government focusing on environment in a much harsher way than before. With diesel, with the Delhi coming up with a norm that, BS4 trucks will go out. Do you see a market there, Delhi?
Of course.
With the focus on EVs, LNGs?
Of course. Yeah, Delhi NCR would be a better market for EVs for sure. I mean, as I said, short runs EVs would work always better. And NCR especially, we are always seeing a problem in the winters.
Yes.
So definitely a shift of EV should be looked in, whether it is, I mean, light duty, the government has already advised you have to go to EV.
You have to go to EVs, correct.
Heavy duty, they've advised diesel, which is also fair. I mean, but moving to EV by the transport community would make more sense
Incentives
for all
are
of
there
them.
in place now,
Incentives are there in place. I mean, the government is also doing everything. And yes, I cannot agree more with you. This is a good timing for alternate fueled vehicles to be deployed. Right time, right market, and
You're in the right place.
we're in the right place. When we started the journey, people must be thinking, what are we doing?
Exactly.
Way back in 2022. But yes, today, happy to see that all the corporates, all the automotive association is started talking of alternate fuel, LNG, EV, and wanting to take it forward. So definitely, it's a good time.
Thank you so much, Anand. Wonderful.
Pleasure. Thank you.
Well, friends, that was Anand Mimani taking us through the journey of Blue Energy Motors and GreenLine Logistics. It is very clear that the country is going to be moving towards a cleaner and greener fuel. But what are the options? LNG, CNG, EV? Anand has his bets on EV and LNG. What is your choice going to be? And if you want to know more details and more economics of LNG and EV, you can always get in touch with Blue Energy Motors. You have been watching Trans India, real people, real emotions. We will be back again next week with another very interesting conversation. Until next week, stay safe and drive safe. Jai Hind.